the name of the game in the phase 1 clinical trial is really to just understand the safe dosages of our drug. And so what physicians will do who are participating in the clinical trial is with their patients are going to prescribe very low doses initially of this particular medication, and they will dial up these dosages until they begin to see the desired effect, which is the therapeutic effect, or they begin to see side effects that are severe enough for them to merit stopping the study. And so what we're learning in the phase 1 clinical trial is basically how high of a dose can we give people to see what we want to see, and hopefully we're able to see what we want to see and not do more harm. And so assuming we've made it past a phase 1 clinical trial, we've established what a safe dosage is for patients, and now we move into phase 2. The goal of these phase 2 clinical trials is to again further understand the safety of these medications, but now also to look into the efficacy of these drugs. And so in a phase 2 clinical trial, what we would do if this was an oncology medication, for instance, is we would begin enrolling patients who have a specific type of cancer into these studies. And the outcomes that we're looking at now are not just, is this medication hurting you, but is it helping you? We want to see if this new drug is able to help dial down the severity of the cancer, if it's able to kill those cancer cells. These are very positive indicators that we want to see to give us an idea that this new drug or product is having an actual therapeutic effect. So we want to better understand and quantify the therapeutic effects of these new medications. And then assuming a drug makes it past the phase 2 clinical trials, it's going to enter phase 3. Phase 3 clinical trials are where we begin to compare the drug to what is currently on the market or what healthcare professionals are currently using to treat a given disease. And this is called the standard of care or the baseline. And so if your new drug has been proven to be both safe and effective, the question now for it to get FDA approval is it a better option than what we currently have in the healthcare field? And so the goal here is to enroll a lot of patients, and generally this will be over 100 patients, and these groups or these patients will be broken down into groups. These trials will be randomized, meaning that if you were enrolled in a phase 3 clinical trial, you won't know which group you are being assigned to. So you don't know if you're in the control group, and the control group is the one that's receiving the current standard of care medication, or you're in a group that's receiving the new drug or medical device that is going through the phase 3 trial. And so the outcome of this phase 3 trial is for us to begin to get some more data to show whether or not this thing is better than what is currently available. And phase 3 clinical trials can be ended early if we are able to see enough evidence to suggest that a particular group is doing significantly better than the others. So best case scenario, if you had a new product, the people who were taking the actual product in those groups are doing so much better than the standard of care that the FDA says it's unethical for us to deprive these patients of the really cool new product that's able to help them so much. So that's one way we can get out of a phase 3 clinical trial. The other way is that we can end it early is if we are seeing instances in which there are side effects that are so severe that it's not really good for us to continue. So in the spirit of doing no harm, they would end these phase 3 clinical trials. And then once we've been able to show in a phase 3 clinical trial that our new product is better than what physicians currently have, the FDA will approve it for general public. So what this means is that people out there can begin getting prescribed this medication on a much bigger scale, and the drug has now been officially called FDA approved, which is very exciting for these pharmaceutical companies. And the thing that can happen next after a phase 3 is passed is this FDA approved medication or medical device will enter a phase 4 clinical trial. And during the phase 4 clinical trials, what we are doing is we are looking at even bigger groups of patients for even longer periods of time to better understand rare side effects that we may not have been able to pick up on from our earlier clinical trials, as well as understand the nuances of how this particular medication could interact with other medications that people are taking. And so that's what comes out of these phase 4 clinical trials is we're only looking at stuff that's already been approved, and that is the summary of FDA clinical trials. And so I'm going to leave links where you can read more on all this information. And if you are interested in learning more about the types of clinical trials that are out there, or what is currently being tested in the FDA, you can do that by going to sparkclinical.com. I'm going to drop a link for that below in the description also. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. Hope this video helps. Thank you all for watching. Please stay safe and wash your hands, and I'll talk to you all next time.